Someone plays Mardam? Give me Mardam. Um, did that song was sent Padma Karu ने? हाँ ग्रुप में डाला है इनके.
Well, post I'll just.
हरे कृष्ण. अरे ऐसे तो जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। I have to speak in English, Guruji? English? So, I am very happy to be here once again. This Margaon Satsang Saturday program, and very happy to see so many wonderful devotees here. So, today we are discussing in short about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Generally, in the land of India, we have heard about various avatars, isn't it? We have heard about Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Narsimha, but many Indians have not heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I remember coming from a South Indian family, the first time I went to an ISKCON temple, I saw, Radha Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, that I could connect to. So, Gaur Nitai, who is this Gaur Nitai? Never understood. So many people don't understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the scriptures is called Channa Avatar. He is a hidden incarnation. So very fortunate people, very fortunate personalities get a little understanding about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Shastras explain Krite yat dhyayato Vishnum Tretayam yajato makai Dwapare paricharyayam Kalau tad hari kirtanat. There are 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. In every yuga, there is a yuga dharma. You follow that particular yuga dharma, follow that particular path, and you achieve God in that particular yuga. So in Satya Yuga, the yuga dharma is dhyan. Krite yat dhyayato Vishnu. Krite refers to Satya Yuga. So in Satya Yuga, people would do dhyan for many thousands of years. People had a long lifespan in Satya Yuga. In Treta Yuga, the yuga dharma was doing yagyas. So they would have big yagyas, just like Lord Ram appeared in Treta Yuga. So there was Putra Kameshti Yagya, Ashwamedh Yagya, like this, different yagyas would happen. Dwapare Paricharyayam. In Dwapar Yuga, the yuga dharma was that you have huge deity worships, huge temples like that. Many of the temples in South India, they are from the Dwapar Yuga time. So in Dwapar Yuga, that was the style. In Kali Yuga, the yuga dharma that works is Nama Sankirtan. Kalau tad Hari Kirtanat. So in order to start this yuga dharma of Nama Sankirtan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. Krishna tells in the Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna comes in various yugas to establish religion, dharma. And the dharma for Kali Yuga is Sankirtan Yajna. Therefore, the Bhagavatam explains, Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sango Pangarstha Parshadam Yagye Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasa. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is explained that the same Krishna of Dwapar Yuga comes in Kali Yuga, but not in the color of Krishna. What was the color of Krishna? Black in color. Again, what was the color of Lord Ram? Anyone knows? What is the color of Lord Ram? Greenish in color, greenish emerald. That is what Ramayana explains. So Krishna was black in color, Shyam Sundar. So the same Krishna comes in Kali Yuga, but not black in color. He comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, golden color. Right? And this verse explains the same Krishna, when he comes as Mahaprabhu, he doesn't come alone. Sango Pangarstha Parshadam. He comes along with his associates. And what does Mahaprabhu do? Yagye Sankirtana Prayer. He starts this Sankirtan Yagya. And this verse says, Yajanti hi Sumedasa. Sumedasa means one who is very intelligent. He will worship Mahaprabhu and participate in this Sankirtan Yagya. So even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Channavatar, the descriptions of Mahaprabhu are there in various scriptures. In Mahabharata, there is Vishnu Sahasranam. If you have heard of Vishnu Sahasranam, 1000 names of Vishnu. So in that there is one verse which describes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varanga Chandanangadi Sanyasakrit Shamashanta Nishta Shanti Parayana. This is Vishnu Sahasranam verse. So it says Suvarna Varna Hemango. So the Lord appears in this avatar as Suvarna Varna, golden in color. Varanga Chandanangadi Sanyasakrit Shamashanta. And what does the Lord do in this avatar? He accepts the order of sannyas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in this planet, did his pastimes on this planet for 48 years. The first 24 years Mahaprabhu lived as a Grihastha in Navadvip, Mayapur, and the next 24 years Mahaprabhu lived as a sannyasi in Jagannath Puri. So therefore this verse refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there are various other verses also. There is one verse in the Adi Puran which says, Aham eva dvija shreshto nityam prichanna vigraha bhagavad bhakta rupena lokam rakshami sarvada. This is the Adi Puran. So it is explained, this is Lord Vishnu himself saying, Aham eva dvija shreshta. I will appear in the family of Brahmanas. Nityam prichanna vigraha. Right? And I will hide my identity. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Channavatar. Krishna is the same Lord, but he is in a hidden form. Not many people understood that he is the avatar. Bhagavad Bhakta Rupena. He is Bhagavan, but he comes in the form of a devotee. So Srila Prabhupada would give this example. When Lord Krishna appeared in this world, Lord Krishna taught the principles of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna came and taught Bhagavad Gita. After Krishna went back to the spiritual world, Krishna saw, I have given Bhagavad Gita, but people are not following according to the Gita. So the Lord decided, I have to appear again as a devotee to teach people how to live by Bhagavad Gita. So the same Krishna comes as Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada would give this example. Sometimes in LKG, upper KG, classes, the children, the math teacher will come and teach the children A, B, C handwriting, make them write alphabets. But the student is not able to copy it as it is. So the teacher goes to the student, takes the hand of the student, puts her hand and makes him or her write it. Understand? So similarly, Krishna taught ABCD of spiritual life in the form of Bhagavad Gita. But people of Kali Yuga, because after Krishna left, Kali Yuga started. As soon as Krishna left, Dwapar Yuga ends and Kali Yuga starts. So Krishna understood people of Kali Yuga, they can't follow instructions. I have to make them follow. I have to help them. So the Lord comes as Mahaprabhu. He comes as a devotee and shows by his example how to practice bhakti. Lokam rakshami sarvada. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu protects all the people of Kali Yuga. Garud Puran, there is a verse which says, Aham Purno Bhavishyami Yugo Sandhyo Vishesatah Maya Pure Navadvipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutah. So this is from Garud Puran. So it says, Aham Purno Bhavishyami. I will appear in future. Yuga Sandhyo Vishesatah. Yuga Sandhyo means when two yugas overlap. So generally when the avatar of the Lord happens, it happens when two yugas overlap. Just like now in the day we have morning, afternoon, evening, night, morning, next day. Like this the cycle goes. But there is a point when it overlaps. Okay? When morning and night overlaps, it is called dusk, Sandhya. Correct? People do Sandhya Vandan at that time. So similarly when yugas overlap, so when the Treta Yuga was ending and Kali Yuga was starting, that is where Mahaprabhu appears. And where will Mahaprabhu appear? Maya Pure Navadvipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutah. So the Lord is telling, I will appear in Mayapur Navadvip and my mother will be Sachi Mata. So in this way there are many verses in the scriptures explaining the appearance of Mahaprabhu. There is another very interesting verse. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, again the 11th canto. So this verse is a very beautiful verse. It explains how Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all have a similar mission. So there is this particular verse which says, Tyaktva sudushtyaja surebshita rajya lakshmin dharmishta arya vachasa yad agat aranyam Maya mrigam dayepshitam anvadhavat vande mahapurashate charanara vrindam. So this is a verse in the Bhagavatam. It offers obeisances to a Mahapurusha. Vande mahapurashate charanara vrindam. But the verse explicitly doesn't mention who is this Mahapurusha. So our acharyas explain that this Mahapurusha refers to Krishna, Lord Ram and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How is this? So in this verse it is explained, Tyaktva sudushtija surebshita rajya lakshmin. Tyaktva means giving up. Giving up what? Rajya Lakshmi. So this verse refers to Lord Ram, because Lord Ram, he was supposed to be coronated as the king of Ayodhya. Rajya Lakshmi was supposed to come to him, but Lord Ram just gave it up. Tyaktva, sudushtyaja. Dushtyaja means which is very difficult to give up. In this world, anything small that we have, we become so attached to it. Imagine you're going to become the king of Ayodhya. And in those days, Ayodhya meant, who was the king of Ayodhya is the king of the entire world, literally. But Lord Ram just gave it up. And what did he do? Dharmishta arya vachasa yad agat aranyam. Aranya refers to forest. Lord Ram went to the forest. And why did he go? Dharmishta arya vachasa. Arya vachasa means because he wanted to follow the orders of superiors. His father and mother, Kaikeyi and Dasharath, wanted him to go to the forest. Lord Ram just went. No second thought. And what did Lord Ram do in the forest? Maya mrigam dayepshitam anvadhavat. So there, Lord Ram runs after this Maya Mrig, Marich in the form of this false deer. Why? Because he had so much love for Sita. Sita tells Ram that now, so when Maricha comes in the life of Lord Ram and Sita, it is almost towards the end of their 13th year of exile. Just 1 year more to go and then they are back to Ayodhya. So Sita says to Lord Ram, this is a beautiful deer, golden deer. I'll keep him as pet in my palace, whatever. So Lord Ram, just like husband follows the wife now. So Lord Ram is also like that, hand-picked husband. So he went and he ran after this deer because he had love for Sita. Vande mahapurashate charanarvindam. So this verse offers obeisances to Lord Ram, who is this great Mahapurusha. So this verse also refers to Lord Krishna. Tyaktva sudushtija surepshita Rajya Lakshmi. So Lord Krishna also gave up Rajya Lakshmi. Lord Krishna was born in Mathura, right, which is a great kingdom. But Lord Krishna just gave it up. He didn't even cut his first cake there. Lord Krishna just left to Vrindavan. Yad agad aranyam. As soon as he was born, he went to Vrindavan Gokul. Why did he go? Dharmishta Arya Vachasa. Because when he was born, Devaki and Vasudeva already felt 6 children, Kamsa is killed. We don't want to lose you. So please you go away. So because Lord's parents wanted him to go to Vrindavan, the Lord just went. And what did Lord Krishna do in Vrindavan? Maya Mrigam Dayepshitam Anvadhavat. So here Maya Mrig refers to Srimati Radharani. So Lord Krishna was running after Srimati Radharani. So this is Krishna's Leela in Vrindavan. Krishna is just trying to please Srimati Radharani. Vande Mahapurashate Charanarabindam. So in this way we offer obeisances to Lord Krishna, who is this great Mahapurusha. So the Acharyas explain that this verse also refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tyaktva sudushtija surepshita Rajya Lakshmi. As I told you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life is very long, very difficult to summarize it in 1 hour, quite difficult. But as I told you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 24 years, he lived as a Grihastha in Navadvip. And for 24 years as a Grihastha, Mahaprabhu had everything. He had everything. He had a beautiful wife. The same Srimati Radharani, the same Sita Devi comes in the form of Vishnu Priya. Very beautiful wife. Very loving mother. Right? He had a lot of name and fame. As a Grihastha, Mahaprabhu was called Nimai Pandit. And he had a school office, Sanskrit grammar school. And he was so famous, students from all over India would come to take admission under him. That was his fame. He defeated Keshav Kashmiri, who was one of the greatest scholars of the land of India. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, afterwards when he became a devotee, when he started to do pastimes as a devotee, so one time there was the Muslim governor of that magistrate of Navadvip called Chand Kazi. So he came into the house where the kirtan was going on and broke the mridanga. So Mahaprabhu told all the devotees, we will go marching and fight against this. With one call of Mahaprabhu, lakhs of people assembled. That was the influence that he had. So he had beautiful wife, he had a house, he had career, he had name and fame, he had everything. He was young. Still Mahaprabhu gave it up. He just gave it up. Generally people, when they consider sannyas or renunciation, why they take to this renounced order? When nothing works in their life, they take. So Mahaprabhu was not like that. Everything was perfect in his life. He had so many people who loved him literally, but he just gave it up. Why did he give it up? Dharmishta Arya Vachasa. So the story is, one particular Brahmana, he became so offended with Mahaprabhu, so he cursed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, your material life will get finished. My curse upon you that your material life will get finished. So Mahaprabhu said, very good. Now I will take sannyas because it is the order of the Brahmana. Yad agad aranyam. And Mahaprabhu went to the forest. He went to Vrindavan, he went to Dandakaranya, just walking everywhere. And what was Mahaprabhu doing? Maya Mrigam Dayepshitam Anvadhavat. So here in this verse, when it refers to Mahaprabhu, Maya Mrig means all of us. All the living entities in this world, what are we doing? We are running after the illusions of this world. We are running after the Mayavi things of this world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes sannyas so that he can run after the living entities who are running away from Krishna and give them Krishna. So that is how the avatar of Mahaprabhu is called the most merciful avatar. People who have rejected Krishna. Krishna in the Gita, he tells people, come and surrender unto me, I will take care of your sin. But how many people took to the call of Krishna seriously? Many people didn't take. So the same Krishna comes as Mahaprabhu and he goes after people. Please take up to the process of bhakti. He is begging. right? He is begging people to take up to the process of spiritual life. So therefore Mahaprabhu is called the topmost avatar. Parama Karuna Pahutui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabhavatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. Lochandas Thakur, one of a great acharyas, he explains, Parama Karuna Pahutui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. These two lords, Gaur Nitai, the same Krishna Balaram, Brajendra Nandana say Sachi Suto Hoilo say Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Krishna, who is the darling of Vrindavan, comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balaramji comes as Nityananda Prabhu in Gaur Leela. Right? So these two lords, Krishna Balaram as Gaur Nitai, are the most merciful. Sabhavatara Sara Shiromani, they are the topmost avatars because what they gave, no other avatars gave. They gave everyone the opportunity to practice bhakti. Everyone got this opportunity. So this is how Mahaprabhu's avatar is considered to be the most merciful avatar. And it is only by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching that we have so many people around the world take up to the process of Krishna consciousness. Agree? What is the greatest miracle in this world? Right? The greatest miracle in this world is to transform people's hearts. People who are living a very sinful life and suddenly they become pure Vaishnavas, what can be a bigger transformation than this? So this is how Mahaprabhu is considered to be the most merciful avatar. So with this little introduction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I thought we will discuss some pastimes from the life of Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, it was the day of Gaur Purnima, almost the holy time, the day of Holi, Gaur Purnima. That is when the Lord appeared in this world. And the Lord appeared in this world in the year 1407, around 500 years ago. That's when he appeared in the land of Navadvip. So it is explained that when the Lord appeared on the day of Gaur Purnima, it was a lunar eclipse, Chandra Grahan. Generally, Chandra Grahan, any Grahan, is considered inauspicious. No one does any activity during Grahan time. So now you may question, the Supreme Lord, he is appearing in this world when? During Grahan. Why did the Lord do this? Because, especially in Bengal and all these areas, and everywhere in India also, when it is Grahan time, people are very scared. Something bad will happen, some inauspicious thing will happen. So many people take up to chanting during that time. So when it was Chandra Grahan at this time, when Lord Mahaprabhu was supposed to appear, everyone in Bengal had gone near the Ganga. They were taking bath in Ganga and loudly chanting the names of Krishna. Everywhere the name of Krishna was going on. That is the time Mahaprabhu chose to appear. Just by the appearance of Mahaprabhu is showing all of us why he came. His mission was to make everyone chant Hare Krishna. This was the mission. So Mahaprabhu's appearance only was for the purpose of preaching. And Mahaprabhu is showing just through this example that how real auspiciousness is when we have Krishna in our life. Grahan is considered to be an inauspicious time, but because chanting was going on, Mahaprabhu chose to appear at that particular time, because where chanting is going on, that is considered to be the most auspicious time. So this is how Mahaprabhu appeared in this world. And as soon as Mahaprabhu appeared, there was like a big celebration. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a small child was so beautiful to look at. In this world, any small child of any animal, they are very cute, na? Dog ho, kitten ho, anyone, puppy or a kitten. Imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the same Supreme Lord, as a child. He was so beautiful to look at. Everyone would keep looking at Mahaprabhu. And as a child, Mahaprabhu would often cry, like children cry. So when Mahaprabhu would cry as a child, all the ladies would try to quieten him. They would give him different things. Mahaprabhu would still keep crying. Only when all the ladies, all the devotees assembled there would do kirtan, only then Mahaprabhu would stop crying. And again, they would stop kirtan, Mahaprabhu would start crying. They would do kirtan again, only then he will stop. So Mahaprabhu again through this he showed how his only mission is actually to make people chant Hare Krishna. In this way, from the beginning only he was actually inspiring people to chant. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you have gone to Mayapur, sometime you all can go, Mayapur Navadi, when Mahaprabhu appeared, he appeared below a neem tree. So therefore, one of the names of Mahaprabhu is called Nimai. And his maternal grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti, saw the astrological chart of Mahaprabhu and gave him the name Vishwambar. Vishwambar means one who maintains the entire universe. So Mahaprabhu is literally the Supreme Lord who is maintaining everyone. So as Mahaprabhu grew a little more, there was an Annaprashan ceremony for the Lord. Right? So during the Annaprashan ceremony, this was like 6 months old child. So there was Annaprashan ceremony. So they do this, especially in Bengal and all, they have this vidhi where they keep different items and they find out what the inclination of the child is. So they kept some money, they kept something else and they kept a Bhagavatam. Okay? And Mahaprabhu immediately went to pick up Bhagavatam. So that was Mahaprabhu's inclination, chanting Hare Krishna and getting absorbed in Bhagavatam. So it is explained that when Mahaprabhu was a small child, one time all the demigods came in, in different forms, subtle forms, to have darshan of Mahaprabhu. And they put Mahaprabhu on a throne and started to do Abhishek for the Lord. All the demigods were coming to Mahaprabhu. Why? Because in this Swarga, in the heavenly planets, the demigods have Amrit. During the Samudra Manthan Leela, the demigods drank Amrit. But the demigods understood that that is not the real Amrit. They came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that they could actually become devotees and get the real Amrit of the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So therefore the demigods also would come to worship Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he was growing, one time there is this very interesting pastime. There was one particular Brahmana who came to the house of Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a small child, Nimai Pandit. His father was a great Brahmana, Jagannath Mishra. So this particular Brahmana who was like wandering everywhere, he came to their house. And he had a Gopal deity with him. Very great devotee of Krishna. And he had a rule, he wouldn't eat in anyone's house. He would cook himself, offer it to his deity, only then eat. So Jagannath Mishra told him, please come, we will give you all facilities, you please cook. So this Brahmana started to cook, then he offered it to his Gopalji. As he was offering it, the small child Nimai, he came and ate everything. So this Brahmana was thinking, oh God, I have spent so much time in this and this child Nimai has spoiled everything. So, he decided to fast. So Jagannath Mishra and all the others told him, don't worry, our child is little mischievous, you try again. So this Brahmana cooked all the way again. He cleaned the vessels, cooked the whole thing, again offered bhoga to Krishna. And as he was ringing the bell and offering it, Nimai comes and he eats everything. So again Brahmana starts to say, hi, the entire thing is spoiled, what will happen now? Right? Big offense, what is offered to Krishna, this boy has eaten. And again all the parents come and control, take Nimai and tell the Brahmana, you please cook again. So by the time it was late night, the whole day is gone in this, he was actually supposed to go, but everyone convinces him, please do it again. So again the Brahmana cooks and offers it to Lord Krishna, and as he is ringing the bell, Nimai again comes there. But by this time, because it was almost late in the night, everyone in the house slept. And this Brahmana is shouting, hi, this boy has come again, everything is going to get spoiled. No one woke up this time. Because Lord's desire, again, just like when Krishna was born in the jail of Kansa, right? As soon as Vasudev took Krishna to take him to Gokul, everyone slept. Everyone just slept. So like this, everyone in the house slept by the Lord's desire, and this Brahmana is alone with this child. So that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows this Brahmana the form of Krishna, and he tells him, "Arey, why are you shouting? You are offering it, and I have come to accept it. What is the problem with you?" And he shows him the form of Krishna, and then the Brahmana becomes very happy and very satisfied. So Vasudev Ghosh, one of our great acharyas, in his bhajan he says, Jai Gaur Sai Krishna Sai Jagannath. The same Krishna is actually coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Mahaprabhu had lot of childhood pastimes, lot of different childhood pastimes that he had. One time there was a snake going around in the house. Yeah? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a little grown-up boy by then. So Mahaprabhu took that snake and started to sleep on the snake. And the mother was so scared, like poisonous snake, and the child is sleeping. And Mahaprabhu said, no, this snake will not do anything. He is my good friend. So Mahaprabhu is doing the leela of Anant, Lord Vishnu sleeping on Anantashesh. Like this he would have. And just like Lord Krishna was very naughty, similarly Mahaprabhu was very naughty. What he would do is, in Navdeep in Mayapur, Mahaprabhu's house is in one end of Ganga. He had to cross the river to go to his school. He would go and learn Sanskrit, right? He had Gangadas Pandit, he would cross the river and go. And then he would cross the river and come back again. So what he would do, while he was like going to school in the Ganga, he would make lot of fun of the Brahmanas. He would steal their clothes and go away. He would do lot of different things. And when all the Brahmanas would come and complain to the father of Mahaprabhu, Jagannath Mishra, Mahaprabhu would come innocently, completely dry. He would be coming walking. And he would tell, I didn't go to the Ganga only. Just see, I'm completely dry. So one time Mahaprabhu, where young girls would worship Shiva and Parvati. So generally it is explained that girls worship Shiva to get a good husband. So there were like young girls near the Ganga offering worship to Shiva and Parvati. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Nimai Pandit, he would come there and eat all the offerings to Shiva and Parvati. And then he would say, Shiva and Parvati are my devotees, don't worry. And he would eat everything. And the girls would be so upset. Arey Baba, we want a good husband, we have made so much offerings, this boy is spoiling everything. And Mahaprabhu would tell them, see, if you don't give me, I will curse you all, that you all will be married to an old man who has 4 wives already. And Mahaprabhu would say, if you all give me all this offering, then I will bless you all that you all will be married to a young boy, and then you all will have many, many children. So in this way Mahaprabhu would do all these pastimes. So later on, when Mahaprabhu finished all his schooling, he started his own school, Pathshala, right? And I told you there will be students from all over India who would come. And Mahaprabhu was like a very reputed scholar. So one particular incident that happens is, there was one Pandit called Keshav Kashmiri. Very, basically from Kashmir, Kashmiri Pandit. Keshav Kashmiri. So a very intelligent guy, and his track record was, he was called Digvijay. Digvijay means one who has conquered the 10 directions. He had defeated practically everyone. So he came to Navdeep to defeat all the scholars of Navdeep. So all the scholars of Navdeep ran away, and they kept Nimai Pandit there, because their logic was, if Keshav Kashmiri defeats Nimai Pandit, who was a young boy, we will tell Keshav Kashmiri, anyway he was a kid, anyone naturally would get defeated. And if Nimai Pandit defeated Keshav Kashmiri, all of them would say, just see, in Navdeep, even a small child is enough to defeat Keshav Kashmiri, like that. So they left Nimai Pandit. So Nimai Pandit was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching to students, and Keshav Kashmiri comes there on a big palanquin with a lot of followers. So Nimai Pandit was very respectful. He meets Keshav Kashmiri and he tells Keshav Kashmiri that you are a great scholar, please compose a poetry on Ganga, because Ganga is just flowing there. So Keshav Kashmiri, on the spot, spontaneously, he composes 100 shlokas, pure Sanskrit shlokas on Ganga. है कि नहीं? Such an intelligent person, literally Saraswati in his tongue, 100 shlokas, and he's reciting it at the speed of the mind, completely so fast. And everyone is so astounded that this fellow is so intelligent, he composed 100 shlokas just like that. But Mahaprabhu, after he composed this 100 shlokas, Mahaprabhu told him, very nice, but in your 64th verse, there is a mistake. So Keshav Kashmiri, he's thinking, I recited the shlokas so quick, just like a wind. How did this guy even hear everything? What to speak of finding out a mistake in the 64th shloka? So Mahaprabhu told him, just like you are expert in speaking, I am Shrutidhar. What I hear once I remember. And Mahaprabhu pointed a mistake. Never in his life anyone had pointed any mistake to Keshav Kashmiri. He was that intelligent. So Keshav Kashmiri didn't know how to answer Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu told him, as Nimai Pandit, don't worry, you go home. Probably tomorrow you can come and tell me. So when he went home and was feeling so bad, like he's practically insulted in front of everyone. He was feeling very bad. So that time he prays to Mother Saraswati, because that was his worshipable goddess. Mother Saraswati comes and tells Keshav Kashmiri, whom you met is actually my worshipable Lord. You go and surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Keshav Kashmiri actually comes the next day and surrenders to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this was the influence that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had. So the pastime of Mahaprabhu was such that at a particular time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had an elder brother. His name was Vishwarup. And his elder brother left home, took sannyas and went. So he comes to Pandharpur and he takes sannyas. So because of separation from the son, the father of Mahaprabhu, Jagannath Mishra, died. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Gaya. If any of you have been to Gaya, you go to Gaya to do Pindadan. So Mahaprabhu went to Gaya to do Pindadan for his father, Jagannath Mishra. So there Mahaprabhu meets his guru, Ishwarapuri. So till this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is performing pastime he's a Supreme Lord, but he is not showing himself as a devotee. He is performing pastime as a great Sanskrit scholar like that. When he goes to Gaya and he meets his guru Ishwarapuri, after that Mahaprabhu is completely transformed. When he comes back, he is only chanting Hare Krishna. Completely mad, completely in ecstasy, continuously chanting Hare Krishna, preaching like this. From that time on, Mahaprabhu starts his Sankirtan movement after he comes back from Gaya. So the headquarters of Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement was the house of Srivas Thakur. We have this Panchatattva. We chant this Panchatattva mantra, no? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Srivas Thakur, his house was in Navdeep. He's actually the avatar of Narad Muni. Just like Narad Muni, what does Narad Muni do? Just preaching. He's just preaching the message of Krishna everywhere. So the same Narad Muni comes as Srivas Thakur. And in the house of Srivas Thakur, Mahaprabhu starts his Sankirtan movement. So the house of Srivas Thakur, which is called Srivas Angan in Mayapur, that is like the headquarters of Mahaprabhu. So there every day and night, Mahaprabhu would have kirtans. Right? And I told you this past time. So one particular time, all the local Brahmanas, they went and complained to the Qazi, because in those times, 500 years ago, the entire Bengal was under Nawab Hussain Shah, was like a Muslim ruler, and the local magistrate was a Muslim called Chand Qazi. So they all went and complained to Chand Qazi that this Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya, Nimai Pandit, he is chanting the name of Krishna so loudly. The name of Krishna should be chanted only by Brahmanas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving this mantra to everyone. This is against the Vedas. They went and told the Qazi like this. So the Qazi became so angry, he came to the house of Srivas and he broke the mardang of Srivas. All the devotees were very scared, and Chand Qazi's soldiers told the devotees, stop chanting. If you all do kirtan again, we will arrest all of you all and put you all inside. All the devotees became very scared. When Mahaprabhu came to know this, he became like a lion. He said, how dare this Qazi does this? So Mahaprabhu said, we will do on disobedience movement. Lakhs of people assembled with torches in their hand, mashal in their hand. All of them are chanting Hare Krishna. So till now, Mahaprabhu was doing kirtan inside the house of Srivas. After this incident, the kirtan went outside. So the lesson here is, especially in the Sankirtan movement, when obstacles come, understand that this is a time the Sankirtan movement is going to grow further. It's going to grow beyond. That's why obstacles come. So Mahaprabhu used this obstacle to enhance his preaching. So the entire Sankirtan came out. Chand Qazi and his followers thought these are like group of 30-40 people doing house program. When they came out, lakhs of people, literally lakhs of people assembled there. In fact, Chaitanya Bhagavat explains, demigods were coming in human form to participate in this kirtan. With mashal in their hand, they are all chanting Hare Krishna and going. Everyone is chanting, Mahaprabhu is dancing, Nityananda is dancing, and so many people are joining this. And anyone who saw this kirtan was getting attracted. This explains that followers of Chand Qazi, all his soldiers, when Mahaprabhu was nearing the house of Chand Qazi, all the soldiers also started to chant. All the Muslim people started to chant. They covered their beards and started to chant like this. And all the devotees were chanting Hare Krishna, and they were also chanting, kill the Qazi, we'll go and kill this fellow. And this Qazi was like trembling completely. And Mahaprabhu's all devotees covered the house of Qazi, and the followers of Qazi couldn't do anything. The number was so much. And then finally Mahaprabhu calls Qazi out, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a discussion with Qazi. Because Qazi was a Muslim, Mahaprabhu was following the Sanatan Dharma. So they have discussion on Gita and Quran. Mahaprabhu is talking to him. And then finally Mahaprabhu tells him the same, what you call Allah, we call Krishna. Why are you stopping this? And then Qazi actually surrenders to Mahaprabhu. And he becomes a Vaishnava. So now in Navadvip, the Samadhi of Chand Qazi is still there. Devotees go now to offer prayers to the Samadhi of Chand Qazi. Mahaprabhu embraces Chand Qazi. And something interesting is, it is explained that this Chand Qazi is actually in Krishna Leela, he is Kansa. The same Kansa of Krishna Leela comes as Chand Qazi in Mahaprabhu Leela. In Krishna Leela, what did Krishna do to Kansa? Krishna killed Kansa. But in Gaur Leela, Krishna doesn't kill Kansa. Krishna makes Chand Qazi into a Vaishnava. So that is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Mahaprabhu does lot of beautiful pastimes in Navadvip. In the house of Srivas, where they would have day and night, they would have kirtans. One particular incident that is very famous is called Mahaprakash Leela. Generally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never showed himself as God. Because he is in the mood of a devotee, he never showed himself as God. He didn't do all those miracles of lifting Govardhan. He didn't do all these pastimes. He lived life almost like a devotee in separation from Krishna. But there are pastimes where Mahaprabhu showed his Aishwarya. He showed that how he is the Supreme Person of Godhead. And one particular Leela is called the Mahaprakash Leela. Or it is also called the Ashta Prahariya Leela. This Leela goes on for almost 21 hours. So Mahaprabhu in the house of Srivas, he had an asan in which Vishnu would sit. His Shaligram Shilas would sit. So Mahaprabhu sat on the asan of Vishnu, and he told all the devotees, come and offer Abhishek to me. So all the devotees started to offer Abhishek to Mahaprabhu, started to offer Bhoga to Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to fulfill the desires of all devotees. Mahaprabhu started to fulfill everyone's desire. Advaita Acharya, so actually one of the reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared was, one of the members of the Panchatattva is called Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya, he actually prayed to the Lord, you please advent, please come and deliver the fallen people. Because of the prayer of Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu advented. So when Advaita Acharya came in front of Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed Advaita Acharya the Virat Roop, the Vishwa Roop that Arjuna saw on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he also showed. There was one of the devotees of Mahaprabhu called Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta, he is Hanumanji who comes in Mahaprabhu's Leela as Murari Gupta. So Mahaprabhu called Murari Gupta and he told Murari, look at me. And he became Lord Ram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became Lord Ram. And there was Sita and Lakshman. And Murari Gupta saw that there is a tail that has come behind him. And he's become Hanuman. Because he's actually Hanuman. So in this way the Lord fulfilled everyone's desires like this. Right? In this Mahaprakash Leela, he called one of his devotees who was Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur, this is also the glory of Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada actually explains in these purports. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. So this is something very interesting. I think I should tell you all these few pastimes. Haridas Thakur is actually the avatar of Lord Brahma. So if all of you all know Krishna Leela a little, so one time Lord Brahma, he comes on a swan carrier to Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is a place, it may seemingly seem a very ordinary village. So Brahma had a conception of Vaikuntha, but when he saw Vrindavan, he saw cows, he saw ladies, making gobar dung, he saw people milking cows, he saw all these things. And Brahma was thinking, what is this? Is this a spiritual world? And Brahma suddenly sees Krishna, who's gone to herd the cows. Krishna is sitting with his cowherd friends and Krishna is eating prasad, lunch. And all the cowherd friends of Krishna, they eat one fruit and they tell Krishna, Krishna, this is very sweet, and give it to Krishna. Does anyone give juta to Krishna? But these cowherd boys, they had so much love for Krishna, they are eating something and telling Krishna, Krishna, please taste this. And Krishna was eating it. So Brahmaji from his swan carrier, he got completely confused. What is this happening? What is this? Is this Vishnu? So Brahma actually steals all the cows, all the cowherd boys of Krishna just to test Krishna. And then Krishna, he expands himself exactly into the number of cows, the number of cowherd boys, same form. And for 1 year Krishna does this Leela. And then at the end Brahmaji understands, I have done a very big mistake. So Brahmaji comes to Vrindavan and he falls at the feet of Krishna and he offers very beautiful prayers. In Krishna book and Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, there are very beautiful prayers of Brahmaji where he is offering prayers to Krishna. Please forgive me for what I have done. But the scriptures explain that even after this, Krishna did forgive Brahma, but Brahmaji was not satisfied. So Brahmaji comes to Navadvip, Mayapur. And in Mayapur, there is a place called, Mayapur has 9 islands. Just like Vrindavan has 12 forests, Dwadasha 1, Navadvip has 9 islands. One of the island is called Antardvip, where the ISKCON temple is presently. So Brahmaji comes there and does lot of austerity. And this is in Treta Yuga, Brahmaji comes there. So in Treta Yuga only, he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing in front of him. And Mahaprabhu tells him, don't worry, don't worry, you have not done any offense, you can please go back. And Mahaprabhu is telling Brahma, there is no offense on your side. But Brahmaji actually is telling Mahaprabhu, no, because I have a post of Brahma. Brahmaji is like a very big post. There is some amount of pride that has come in me. My dear Lord, I want to take such a birth where I don't have any sense of pride. So the Lord, Brahmaji is seeing Mahaprabhu in front of him. Mahaprabhu tells him, don't worry, when I come and Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will appear as Haridas Thakur. And you will be born in a Muslim family. Muslim family is considered to be outside Varnashram system. Outside even being a Shudra. So that is the family in which Haridas Thakur appeared. The same Brahma comes as Haridas Thakur. And the Lord told him, in the form of Haridas Thakur, you will continuously keep chanting Hare Krishna. So Haridas Thakur would continuously, 192 rounds he would chant every day. This island in Navadvip is called Antardvip, because in the Antakaran of Brahmaji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was revealed. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Brahmaji, please keep this hidden. Keep this hidden in your heart, don't tell this to anyone. So therefore this island is called Antardvip. So why I am telling you all these pastimes is because how even great demigods, they participated in Mahaprabhu's Leela in very humble ways. Who is Haridas Thakur? Brahmaji. But Haridas Thakur, even though he was born in a Muslim family, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him Namacharya of his movement, made him the most important Acharya of the holy name. So that is how Mahaprabhu was giving mercy to everyone without saying birth, qualification, anything. In Navadvip, there is a place called Simantardvip. So in Simantardvip, the pastime is Durga ji. So one time the story goes like this, that Shiva and Parvati, they are sitting together in Kailash, and Shiva starts to dance in ecstasy. And Parvati has seen a lot of dances of Shiva, but this particular dance of Shiva, Parvati has never seen. She was dancing like mad and he chanting the name of Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. So Parvati is asking Shiva, I have seen you go in different levels of ecstasy, but this kind I have never seen. And who is this Gauranga? Shiva tells Parvati, you don't know, in Kali Yuga, the same Supreme Lord is going to appear as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I am chanting Gauranga Mahaprabhu's name. So Parvati feels, I also want to have darshan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So she comes to this island in Navadvip called Simantardvip and does tapasya for a very long time. Many years of tapasya. And then finally she gets the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in front of Parvati, so Parvati is basically Durga Devi. So or Maya Shakti basically. So she tells the Lord, all the devotees run away from me, but I also want association of devotees, what should I do? So Mahaprabhu tells him, don't worry, you stay here in Navadvip, all devotees will come to have your darshan. So this island of Navadvip is called Simantardvip because Parvati at this place takes dust from the feet of Mahaprabhu and puts it on her Simant, puts it on the parting of her hair. Therefore this island is called Simantardvip. In Navadvip there is an island called Godadrumadvip. In this island, Indra and Surabhi cow, we all know in Krishna Leela, Indra also did an offense to Krishna. Therefore Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. So Indra comes here and he offers prayers to Krishna. And then he also gets darshan of Mahaprabhu. So why I am telling you all these pastimes is to just give you all this indication that how even great demigods took part in different ways in order to help the movement of Mahaprabhu. So in this way Mahaprabhu for almost like 24 years Mahaprabhu performed Leela in Navadvip, preaching this movement of Krishna consciousness. But there is one particular incident which happens, which we will explain tomorrow probably if you all can come in the morning. When Mahaprabhu actually sees that his movement was actually growing, but there was certain set of people who are still not respectful to Mahaprabhu. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in this role of a grahastha. So people didn't have so much respect for him. So Mahaprabhu thought, I have to deliver these people also. There are so many people who have become devotees, but there are certain set of people who are still offending me. They are not taking up to the process of bhakti. And Mahaprabhu came in order to give bhakti to everyone. So in order to deliver these people, Mahaprabhu actually takes sannyas at the age of 24. The same Supreme Lord Krishna, who is the greatest enjoyer, he becomes a sannyasi. And the rest 24 years, Mahaprabhu lived as a very strict sannyasi in Jagannath Puri. Very strict. So the incident of how Mahaprabhu takes to the order of sannyas, why it's a very touching pastime of how Mahaprabhu takes sannyas, how the whole process happens, why it happens. So tomorrow, we are going to have a lot of time. From 9 to 1 we are going to be having a lot of bhajans and Krishna Katha. So there probably we will discuss this whole pastime of Mahaprabhu taking sannyas and pastimes beyond that. So this was in essence Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime till the age of 24 in Navadvip. All these pastimes can be spoken very elaborately in lot of detail, but this is to give you all an idea. Speaking about Haridas Thakur, in this Mahaprakash Leela, I think I'll end with this particular pastime. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Mahaprakash Leela is fulfilling the desires of everyone. He calls Haridas Thakur and he's asking Haridas Thakur, what do you want? Imagine God is asking you, what do you want? Haridas Thakur tells Lord, I don't want anything. I just want to be your devotee birth after birth. So that time Mahaprabhu reveals something very interesting to Haridas. So Haridas Thakur, he was staying in a place called Fulia. He was very close to Navadvip, and Haridas Thakur was chanting Hare Krishna everywhere. So what happened was, the local Muslim there, they called Haridas and told Haridas, Haridas, you are born in a Muslim family. Why are you chanting names of Hindu gods? Krishna, Ram. Chant name of Allah. Haridas Thakur told him. In fact, first Haridas Thakur laughed loudly, and then he said, what difference it makes? It's all the same. My heart is attracted to Krishna, the name of Krishna. And Haridas Thakur told this Muslim magistrate that even if you kill me, even if you cut my body into thousands of pieces, from every part I will keep chanting Hare Krishna. So the Qazi, the local magistrate, he told his people, his soldiers, beat Haridas Thakur in 22 marketplaces with whips. Why? Because why he wanted to do this public? Because he wanted to show a lesson. If any Muslim tries to chant the names of Hindu god, this is what will happen. They took him to 22 marketplaces, Haridas Thakur, and beaten badly. Very powerful people beating Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur didn't stop chanting. He was chanting, very blissful, smiling, very grateful, just chanting Hare Krishna. And at the end of 22 marketplaces, generally anyone who would be beaten in 1 or 2 marketplaces would die. Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces, but he didn't die. The people who were beating Haridas Thakur, they got exhausted. And they told Haridas Thakur, if you don't die, the Qazi will kill us. Haridas Thakur, that is so, and Haridas Thakur just sat in Samadhi and gave up his body. It appeared so. And they threw his body in Ganga. And then Haridas Thakur comes back swimming. And then finally the Qazi understands that Haridas Thakur is a great saint. So in this Mahaprakash Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this pastime to Haridas Thakur. Mahaprabhu didn't know this pastime. So Mahaprabhu is telling this to Haridas Thakur and telling Haridas, when those people were beating you, I had sent the Sudarshan Chakra to kill them. Because when someone offends great devotees, the Lord can't tolerate it. So the Lord said, I had sent the Sudarshan Chakra to kill them. But you were continuously praying, my dear Lord, please forgive them, please forgive them. Your prayers of forgiveness were so much, my Sudarshan Chakra couldn't do anything. But the Lord said, I wanted to protect you, so I covered my body I covered your body with my body basically. And Mahaprabhu showed his back to Haridas. All the whip marks of Haridas, which was supposed to be received by Haridas, were at the back of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So this pastime also we see how Mahaprabhu knew exactly what was happening to Haridas Thakur, and he is revealing all these pastimes. So there is just one incident. There are so many incidences where Mahaprabhu showed in this Mahaprakash Leela all the most intimate things that devotees never spoke to anyone, even Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu actually already knew it, and Mahaprabhu was actually helping all these devotees. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami, one of our great acharyas, one of the principal disciples of Mahaprabhu, when he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this place called Prayag. Prayag is where Sangam of Ganga Yamuna happens. Lakhs of people, crores of people come there for Kumbh Mela. So when Rupa Goswami came to Prayag, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Vrindavan, he had just come to Prayag, he saw lakhs of people chanting Hare Krishna. So many people were like completely filled with love and chanting Hare Krishna. So that is the time Rupa Goswami composes a prayer. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishve Namaha. I offer my obeisances to Mahaprabhu, who is the most magnanimous. Namo Mahavadanyaya. Vadanyaya means most magnanimous. One who is like giving charity, unlimited charity is called magnanimous. Most magnanimous means Mahavadanyaya means there is no one more magnanimous than Mahaprabhu. Generally, what we will give in charity, things that we don't need, we will give in charity. No one will give what is there in their treasure house in charity. No one will do that. But Mahaprabhu is giving everyone Krishna Prem. The love for Krishna, which even great demigods, Shiva, Brahma, they are all desperate to get. That love for Krishna, Mahaprabhu is giving everyone. Without seeing qualifications, without seeing misqualifications, is practically giving everyone. In Mahaprabhu Leela, you have the story of Jagai Madai. Have you heard the story? Jagai Madai. Who is Jagai Madai, The same Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Satyuga. These two demons, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. In Treta Yuga, they come as Ravan, Kumbhakarna, brothers. And in Dwapar Yuga, they come as Shishupal, Dantavakra. You all know the story, na? One time the four Kumaras, they go to Vaikuntha and Jai Vijay, the Dwarpal of Vaikuntha, they stop four Kumaras. And the four Kumaras curse Jai Vijay that we all will take birth as demons. Okay? So, they take birth in 3 yugas as demons. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Satyuga, Raman, Kumbhakarna, Treta Yuga, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Dwapar Yuga. The same personalities come in Kali Yuga as Jagai Madai. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Narsingadev, Varadev killed them. Okay? Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Lord Ram killed. Shishupal, Dantavakra, Krishna killed. Same demons come in Kali Yuga as Jagai Madai, and the same Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't kill Jagai Madai. They were the most sinful people. There was no sin that they didn't do. They were doing so much sin that Yamaraj, you all know Yamaraj? If you chant Hare Krishna, you don't have to meet Yamaraj. So Yamaraj, he writes records of all people, sins. Yamaraj has a stenographer, his assistant, called Chitragupta. Okay? Chitragupta became so frustrated writing the sins of Jagai Madai. Chitragupta went to Yamaraj and said, I am taking VRS. I don't want this job. That many sins Jagai Madai did. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they made Jagai Madai into Vaishnavas. They didn't kill Jagai Madai. They became Vaishnavas. Became great devotees. And now also there is a great parampara, Guru Shishya parampara that comes from Jagai Madai. So therefore, Dina Hina Jatta Chilo, Hariname Uddarilo, Tara Shakshi Jagai Madai. So Mahaprabhu delivered people like this. And Prabhupada in one place he explains, 500 years ago during Mahaprabhu's time, there was one Jagai Madai. Now practically as Kali Yuga progresses, there is Jagai Madai everywhere. Okay? Jagai Madai's inclinations to commit sin is there everywhere. But Mahaprabhu's Andolan movement is so strong, so powerful that all these Jagai Madais, stereotype Jagai Madais are all becoming Vaishnavas. So this is the greatest miracle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Anyone has any questions? I'm sorry for going over time. Anyone has any questions? One or two quick. Did you all understand? Little brief. Okay. Some other time we will discuss more detail. Thank you very much. I am very grateful to be here and very wonderful to see so many devotees here. Yeah, okay. So Prabhuji, we have shared one bhajan to all of you all. This is a bhajan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, written by Lochan Das Thakur. We will sing this bhajan and end for today. Parama Karuna Pahu Duijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Did you all get the bhajan? You all got it? Parama Karuna अहो दुई जना निताई गौरचंद्र। परम करुणा अहो दुई जना निताई गौरचंद्र। सब अवतार सार शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंद। भजो भजो माई चैतन्य निताई श्री दृढ़ विश्वास कोई। भजो भजो माई चैतन्य निताई श्री दृढ़ विश्वास कोई। विषय चढ़िया सिरा से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि। देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन गाई हे मोनो दयाल दाता। पशुपति दूरे पाषाण विदारे शून्य चार गुण गाता। संसारे मजिया रोहिल पड़िया से पादे नाइलो आशा। संसारे मजिया रोहिल पड़िया से पादे नाइलो आशा। अपन करामा गुंजय समाना कोए लोचन दाचा। परम करुणा अहो दुई जना निताई गौरचंद्र। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।